Madam Toastmaster. Foundations are critical. They're very, very important. We have a foundation underneath us right now. And what I've learned as I've gone through life is the importance of the foundations of everything that we do and how that will benefit us as we move forward in our lives. So today I want to talk to you about those foundations. I want to then show how those foundations have helped me, and then in turn how I will use those foundations going forward as president of this club. So the foundations that I've determined, we all know that there's really nothing new underneath the sun. We've all heard that. And so it's something that has been talked about and discussed previously, and we take that information and we maybe put our own little spin to it. But in turn, what these foundations are very important. They are the foundations of knowing, the foundations of relationships, the foundations of wealth, and the foundations of wellness. Foundations of knowing. So much too we talk about is what are our beliefs, what are our values, what are those things that when we come down to what's important to us, and we make those decisions, we want to be able to know where those keys are. I want to take it a little bit step further, and I want to talk about knowing. Knowing is deeper than just beliefs. Knowing is actually putting it into practice. I was told an illustration one time of a gentleman who was out learning how to sail a boat. And as he was out learning how to sail, he'd been through all the classroom part of it, and he came out then with his buddy, and they were out there learning how to sail. And as they were sailing in that first time out, the wind came up, and so they were trying to get the sail up and everything, and actually because of not knowing everything in that first point, he actually capsized the boat, and they got all rescued and came back out, and okay, I know what to do. I need to tighten up the rope a little bit harder. Excuse me, Vince, I'll probably not use all the correct terms from a boating stand. But what was important is that next time out, so he's ready, and the wind comes up, and he grabs onto that rope, and he pulls it tight. Well, he holds it too tight, and all of a sudden the mast comes back at him. Well, of course, he sees it coming, so he ducks. But the gentleman who is doing the rudder in the back doesn't, and gets tossed over the boat. So he's believed, and he's finally come to a point and knows what he needs to do, but his fellow passenger doesn't. And so that next time he finally understands that he's not just supposed to hold on to it tightly, but he's supposed to actually hold on to it tight, but yet have some looseness to it. And so as the wind comes and takes, then sail that boat along. And they experience it on that third time. So he's come to a move point of not just believing the importance of this, but he's come to a place of knowing. So what do we know in our lives? Do we know love? Do we know those experiences that we have? The next important foundation that we need to talk about is our relationships. Types of relationships that we have. Our first and foremost relationship is our relationship up, our relationship in, our relationship across, and then our relationships around. Of course, we have my belief in the sense of a creator and that I have with him then covers over all of those. But then in turn, that relationship up then strengthens me in my own beliefs of who I am and the importance and the value that I have. So that as my relationship across to each one of the Toastmaster members, I can communicate in a way that enhances their own value. So that as we then, as a group, learn and improve on that, we can then be an influence for relationships all around us. Our third foundation that I run through is in these Foundations to Success process is the foundation of wellness. And I joked earlier about the green smoothie and having everybody try the green smoothie in the next year. But I've come to see the importance of what we put into our bodies. The importance of that health aspect of wellness, and it covers a whole plethora of different items, not only just the food that we put in, but the thoughts that we put in to how we exercise and how we stay active, how we stay stretched out so that we're not humped over. All of these are important to us because they exude confidence. They exude and give us the energy so that we can come up to the lectern and we can say with confidence at the end of our meeting or at the end of our speech, Madam Toastmaster, Mr. Toastmaster, because of that energy and growth that we have. And our fourth foundation on our foundations to success, besides our foundation of knowing, besides our foundation of relationships, besides our foundation of wellness, is a foundation of wealth. And wealth is a part of us. And wealth has a lot of different dimensions to it. It's not just the dollars and cents that we talk about or our assets that we have. But it's a wealth of our friendships that we partake in. The wealth of how we can learn and educate. And how we can help people along in so many different